Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Shawnee, Ash, Jeremiah, Laura. Hello, friends. Aaron. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Oop, went too far. Hello. Yes, the Bad Bunny concert was awesome. The crazy thing is that that wedding that you saw in the concert, that was actually real. I think that was the coolest part of the entire thing. I mean, there were lots of cool parts. But can you imagine saying I got married at a Super Bowl halftime show? Nothing. Nothing will beat that. Good morning, Philip. Good morning, Jose. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Missy. The ending was fire. It all was fire. And the other thing that was fire was watching conservatives try and be like, oh man, it was so bad. And trying to pretend that 6.1 million people watching the TPUSA thing was like proof. It's like, dude, like 140 million people watched the Bad Bunny one. Good morning, Lady Prairie. Who sounded awful? Kid Rock? Name all the countries that made up the Americas. My heart was happy. Yep. Hence why I said that this is the most American show we ever had. I'd argue it's the first real America show we've ever had. White trash, Millie Vanilli. Hi, Jen. Hey, Silver. Morning, Summer. Guys, if you haven't watched the video that I posted today, make sure you check it out. I interviewed someone who was detained by ICE. So make sure you check that one out. It was a great show. It was also cool having Lady Gaga there too. And them taking her song and giving it like a Latin theme. Someone said Kid Rock looked like Hulk Hogan if Hogan had never done steroids. Hey, Clara. Time to commute, just listening for a bit. Okay. I'll be here. Every time I see TPUSA, my brain automatically transits to toilet paper. I find that to be a correct translation, Missy. I saw Jessica Alba in there dancing. I at least that I was like saw her. I'm like, is that? I did not see Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, or Karol G, but I'm not sure. Like, if I saw Cardi B or Karol G, I could see them and go, "That's who they are." Like, I don't know their faces that well. Pedro Pascal, I knew, but I obviously missed seeing him. Yeah, the ads were pretty wretched. We ended up making a trebuchet that flung marshmallows 25 feet, so we missed the Super Bowl. Hey, no argument there. Seems like a lot more fun, at least than I had watching the Super Bowl as a whole. In the end, as much as I am a Pats fan and will always root for them, I wasn't expecting them to even make the Super Bowl for like 20 years. So the fact that they made it at all since Brady left, I'm okay with that. The ad for prostate screening was hilarious. Yeah, the ad with Mike Tyson trying to talking about how horrible processed foods were was dumb. Good morning, Eleanor. The first commercial after the friggin' the national anthem was a thing about the Trump accounts. Yeah, I did. The thing I hate most about the Trump accounts is the only purpose is to put more money into stocks, which is going to make people that have stocks now have like stock value go up. He's artificially increasing stock values by doing this. Chances are by the time we're 18, those stocks that they're buying everybody won't mean anything. Won't have any value, if we're being honest. Oh yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be taking the name off of everything once 2028 comes around. Hopefully. Football was aight. It was aight. Happy to you too, Kia. Bad Bunny is your hero. I like the one with Benson Boone and Ben Stiller. That was pretty funny too. That was a funny one. The Dunkin' Donuts one was okay. And I'm so glad the Patriots got their asses whooped. Okay. Good morning, Tanya. Did you guys see the ad for crypto? Where it was basically a karaoke of um a Backstreet Boy karaoke. Yeah. It was the dumbest commercial I've ever seen in my life. Those people got too much money on their hands if they're going to spend that much money to do that with the wrong lyrics. Yep. Watch Green Day and the halftime show. I pulled out my mic when I saw it on the words on the screen. I was just confused. I thought I'd changed channels by accident. But in general, the commercials were wretched. Like, I'd say 75% of them sucked. Worst commercial year I think I've ever seen. Good morning, Maureen. Now, that could have been the saltiness of knowing that my tax dollars went to advertising for Trump accounts and Maha and all that other shit, but commercial wittiness has been gone for a while. True. To be fair, we do eat too much processed food, but this administration isn't going to do anything to negate that. Yeah, my problem is not the statement. My problem is what they are, is the way they're going about it. I skipped the Super Bowl to see the Melania movie and watch Kid Rock's white supremacist halftime show. Gee, what fun. What's up, Scott? Did anyone see the creepy shave club one with talking hair nightmare? I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I stopped watching like halfway through the third quarter and I just check on it. Right. All we need is a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a single corn tortilla, and something else. That's all you need. That's all you need, guys. It's all you need. I did see the videos of the guy who ran on the field. Yep. No, there were a few good ones, but in comparison to other years, this was a pretty bad year for commercials. This was a pretty bad year for commercials. Probably one of the worst years ever. Oh. The hair one was early on and yuck. Man, I don't know where I was and missed that. And all of the advertisements around the TPUSA concert saying, put in this code if you want to get merch, if you want to buy some TPUSA merch. It was disgusting. The whole TPUSA thing was disgusting. I was in here trying to grind and swerve, but my body told me no. I was just glorying in every middle finger that he gave to this administration in that show. Because for obvious reasons, mainly that I don't know Spanish, I didn't understand what he was singing about. So I was just listening to the music and looking at what was being said. Hey, Rosa. Or what I could see. Eric has children to take care of. Yeah. I love the smile I saw on Jessica Alba having danced in the background, and also Ricky Martin age. Oh, was Ricky Martin there too? Oh, like I said, I loved the performance. There's more culture in that halftime show than there is in all of MAGA twice. You didn't realize that was Lady Gaga? He was the singer after Lady Gaga. Man, I'll have to rewatch that because I didn't see that at all. Huh. But around town, people are asking where to get Benito t-shirts to wear. I don't remember ever people wanting to wear the performers t-shirts. And who he gave his Grammy to, I lost it. It was good. He, you know, and his whole thing at the end, saying all the countries in the Americas. That's why I say it was the most American show we've ever had. It was more American than any other show we've ever had. Morning, Linda. Green Day didn't go hard enough. I mean, he also had his mic muted at the end of American Idiot. Yep. Terrible, although not surprising. Again, we've had this discussion. The NFL is still in the end doing this all for money. Yeah, right at where he usually says MAGA agenda. The redneck agenda part where he says MAGA, he's been saying MAGA agenda. They muted his mic. They muted all of their mics. It was, Eleanor. But like the power lines part going, talking about, when the hurricane came through and Trump messing that up too. Yep. They still have issues with their power grid. Trump and those damn paper towels. Uh-huh. Yeah, Philip, I heard that line too. Not an argument. Not an argument. Also, the bodega having the EBT sign in its window. I had to tell someone that was what Snap was called previously. Yeah. The response after Mariah was horrendous. Yup. Did it happen? No, it happened. Interestingly enough, they could not stream it on Twitter like they had planned. But yeah, it happened. It was pretty crappy, but it happened. What's funny is seeing the people try and be like, it was amazing. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was dumb. Or were the other three has-beens? I always thought they were never were's. I'd never heard of them. Hey, Laura. Oh, I know, Rosa. The fact that anyone, any Christians are like bad or Kid Rock, yes. It's like you obviously have never listened to his words at all, ever. The power outage part was also criticizing the lack of care from Puerto Rico and the U.S. to fix the outdated power grid. He's like an STD. Only thing remotely useful Kid Rock ever did was play a character modeled after himself in Joe Dirt. And I think useful is pushing it. Oh. Kid Rock wasn't even live, pre-recorded and lip-synced. Like I said, the entire thing was an advertisement for people to buy merch for TPUSA stuff. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. Morning, AJ. I couldn't bring myself to watch the TPUSA crap, but I did love me some Bad Bunny and crew. Heck yeah. Your MAGA sis-in-law is acting like Kid Rock is a Christian rock artist? That's hilarious. There's literally nothing Christian about that man. Does Rosa? I know my aunt watched the TP thing. She posted on her FB about how amazing Kid Rock was. I nearly peed myself laughing. Fair. It's fair. Hey, Courtney. Bad Bunny was amazing. Kid Rock is disgusting. Can confirm. Morning, Shug. How you doing, buddy? Who paid them to watch the TPUSA show? Ooh, that's a good question. Who paid them to watch the TPUSA show? Did I understand it? No, but I understood the vibe. Yup. Heck yeah. How you doing, Orty? How are you? I'm doing good. Obviously, I would have liked to see the Patriots win, but I also didn't believe they were going to make it for like 20 years. So I got to enjoy that, and it was a great halftime show. And watching MAGA try and say that the TPUSA thing was was great, and the NFL halftime show was a death blow to the NFL was hilarious. I literally got some comments that acted like the TPUSA show was, or the Bad Bunny show was a death blow to the NFL. I actually got those comments. "20% of America is Spanish. 80% of us were not representative." The Americas are not 20% Spanish. And if you haven't noticed, the NFL is going worldwide. Oh, I understand what they mean. I understand what MAGA means when they think, when they say America, they think they mean the United States. It's not just the United States in America. There's Canada and Mexico and Brazil and Argentina and Venezuela and Colombia and Ecuador and so many more. It was 100% more American. It was 100% more American. Hey, Alejandra. We are all American. Yep. Puerto Rican is proud? Heck yeah, you should be. Ask any of those countries if they're Americans. I don't need to ask them. They are. They're South Americans or North Americans. You're ignorant to think that the only America is the United States. And Central Americans. You're right. I apologize. I should have added that in. Guys, I know we're talking about this, but also if you aren't following over on the tube, please do. Today I posted an interview I did with a young woman who during her green card interview was detained by ICE. And she talks about her experience in a detention center. So if you haven't seen it, please go see it. Loved the halftime show. It was a great halftime show. Aw, thanks, Keep. Appreciate it. I didn't like the way he kept grabbing his junk. Okay. Did I learn Spanish? No. I didn't need to know Spanish to enjoy it. I would have grabbed it for him if he'd let me. If a song is written in Mexico, it's an American song. Again, we are the United States here. We are all American because we are all part of the Americas. That's the part you're not seeming to get. Hey, Case. Oh, it was way better than mediocre. You want to see mediocre? Look at the TPUSA thing. That was mediocre. Kid Rock sucked. Pedro Pascal was there. Lady Gaga was there. Jessica Alba was there. Least we understood Kid Rock. Aw. Can you not enjoy things unless you understand it all? That's pretty sad. America does not have a language, an official language. Spanish is just as United States as any other language. No, English is not the American language. No, we actually don't. There is no official language of the United States of America. None. Zero. Nada. Yet. Stalin, why would a former Russian authoritarian be proud of me? Executive orders aren't law. Executive orders aren't law. Executive orders aren't law. Bad Bunny is all around way more talented. Truth. So true. I have a new executive orders song. I feel like it should be a what is it? What's that kids thing that we always say should come back? From when I was a kid. You just want to argue? Oh, there's nothing to argue about. Not a thing to argue. Schoolhouse Rock. That sounds like a Schoolhouse Rock song. Executive orders aren't law. Executive orders aren't law. They're just something that the president can do when he's got no ability to do anything else. Executive orders aren't law. Again, an executive order, Texas cowboy, is not law. A president doesn't have the authority to just call something the official language of the United States. Aww. Someone sounds like they're dealing with small D syndrome. She's so right. People can come up if you are part of the community. What's up, Scott?
You're going to have to get music now to your executive orders aren't law song.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100% will.
And by the way, folks, executive orders aren't law. The president cannot declare English the official language of the United States. He has no authority to do so. We don't have an official language. That doesn't exist. Good morning, Leah.
Hey, Leah.
Good morning.
Hey, Kia. Aw, Tom, how's that small D syndrome working for you?
I have to say, like, I think it's absolutely fucking fantastic that they're so big Madden in their fifis today.
Oh, yeah.
What an amazing halftime show. All the symbolism, the storytelling, it just went right over their head like the jets that flew over at the beginning of the game. They just totally missed it. You didn't have to understand a single word that man said. If you can't read and figure, if you can't look at that and tell the story and look it up yourself, I'm so sorry for you, but not really. I fucking loved it. Oh my God, it was fantastic. All those beautiful people up there dancing and so happy. That message of love. Oh, it was fantastic.
6 million people turned off their TVs to watch Kid Rock. Yeah, and 135 million people kept them on to watch Big Bunny. Bad Bunny. I don't know why I said Big Bunny. Bad Bunny. Oh no, it didn't suck, Richard. Texas governor appointed an inspector general for education. We now have our very own Dolores Umbridge. Yay.
It was great when they were showing the watch parties like all over the world, Mexico, Germany, Spain, Australia, Japan, like all over the world. It was amazing. And you know, with the time differences there, those folks were up in the middle of the freaking night.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, and that's 128 million in America. That's not the entire worldwide audience that Bad Bunny had. It was much bigger than that.
We have 300 people watching. Please tap my nose. It helps. Please. I think Bad Bunny set a record. Yes. I believe so. Originally the record was last year, but I think before all the numbers came in, he broke the record. It was an amazing show, and actually there have been some people that have come on and for those of us that don't speak Spanish have been translating stuff that he said for us. The message of a lot of what he said was absolutely amazing also. I'm sorry, Brazil guy, I don't bring up people I don't know. It's nothing against you. Yeah, that sounds okay. Oh yeah, the TP USA show ran long too.
Yeah, and it was pre-recorded and lip-synced.
And it was one of the lives I was watching last night after. They showed how bad the lip syncing was. Like he moved and stopped singing, and it was the words were just still going. And it was like it was just horrible.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the wedding that happened. That was a real wedding. That was a real wedding. They actually got married at the Super Bowl. That was freaking amazing.
Yeah, they wanted him to come to their wedding, and he invited them instead. It was just man, the message of overall, like he could have come here, he could have talked so much smack and just, you know what I mean? And then instead, he came up in here, he rocked the house. They showed a story, they showed their history, they showed their beautiful people. Oh my gosh, I was just like loving it. I was loving all the little Easter eggs, all the little things popping up, all the people that you saw. I love the fact that he talked about all of the countries that make up the Americas. America is not a fucking country, and I wish people would understand that. America, the Americas are continents, and there are countries within those continents. And it just honestly, one of the other things in the back of my mind, the more I saw, the more excited and happy I got. And I just knew that people were flipping the fuck out. And I was just like, it just made me feel good that they had nothing to do but sit in their racist rage.
Oh yeah. I had someone come into a comment. I forget where it was. Because I was commenting, I was making posts in a lot of different places during, like, after the show. And one person came in and was like, the NFL is toast after this. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't think the NFL is terribly worried about that commenter's opinion.
Gosh.
Yeah, the NFL is trying to make a move into South America, and I can't think of a better way to do it than the way that they did it. And sure, it's about the money for the NFL. Hey, they're a business. I get that. But having Bad Bunny there was a tremendous way to open up the South American market and Central American market.
And regardless of whether or not they did or didn't take a side, they allowed Bad Bunny to do this message, which again was unifying, but also in so many ways was just a big ass middle finger to this administration. And I loved it so much. And again, I didn't even have to understand it to see it. Every aspect, the unity and different aspects of it were all just middle fingers in their own right. And I loved it so much. And again, this is from someone who doesn't speak Spanish, so I didn't understand it, but I didn't need to.
Same. I don't speak Spanish either. I felt there were so many times I had goosebumps. I was in here dancing with the kittens. I had tears. I felt it. And I was just in here jamming until the niece said, sit your ass down. But the other thing though, Scott, my only thing with that though is when you have all these NFL owners who are out here so supportive of the regime that we currently have, hence why I refuse to support the Patriots. Kraft is disgusting, not just on the MAGA front, but on so many other fronts and levels. He's just so gross. That's going to be the hurdle they're going to have to go at. They're going to have to fix. You figure the freaking, oh my God, Pittsburgh Steelers, they gave him a freaking jersey with his name on it. If the NFL is going to be serious about spreading into Latino and Hispanic markets, they're going to have to figure out a way to deal with all of that. I think if anything, the whole world showed up and showed Bad Bunny that they're behind him, and that basically the love that he got for his performance was the biggest FU to ICE and everything that's happening right now in the most loving way possible. Bravo, my sir, bravo.
Dixie, most of the people in the Americas do not speak English. Most of the people in the Americas do not speak English. How about the United States? Who cares about just the United States? There was more than just the United States watching. That's what you always don't seem to get. This is not a United States event. This is a world event. Just because you can't understand it and you don't like it, I don't care. Nope. Yup. You can say nope all you want. The fact is it was a worldwide event.
The NFL plays games all over the world.
And they're playing more.
They're trying to build a world brand. And that's why they do things like this. And good for them for doing it. Although I share Kia's views on some of the owners in the NFL. But they are a business, and they're building a worldwide brand. And quite frankly, even if you're just talking about the USA, is it the worst thing that will ever happen in your life that you have a halftime show where somebody's speaking in Spanish when 20% of our population is Hispanic? I mean, is that the worst thing in the world? And do you really tell me you didn't get the show? I don't speak Spanish. I got it. It was fun.
Wow.
It was just fun.
Stuart, I have to say, I really appreciate your comment. It made people like me, accustomed to hearing English, realize that there are others that live with us. And I hope that people, and I say this, like, I appreciate you admitting that, you know. I just wish that people would have realized, like, when we first came to this country, people did not speak English. A lot of the people, even the YT folks that came here did not speak English. There's always been there's hundreds of language that are speaking in the United States every single day, and dialects. Even when you speak English, somebody speaking English in Louisiana sounds somebody different than speaking English in New York versus somebody in Cali versus somebody in North Carolina. And not only that, like somebody else said in the comments, English is the language of England. Like, let's not.
Warwick, it was not the United States Super Bowl. Does the NFL play games in countries other than the United States?
Sure. Great Britain, Japan, Mexico. They play everywhere.
Then it is not
Germany,
a United States Super Bowl.
And again, isn't Puerto Rico part of our country?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't Puerto Rico part of our country?
For money? Doesn't matter. That's the part you don't get. Doesn't matter. I just got a pretty nasty message from someone who I bet considers himself a Christian.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Something, let's put it this way. Bad enough that I can't say it on this app.
You had to send it to me.
Is not an associate state. It is a territory, but it's still part of this country.
What we're not about to do is sit here and try to discuss and debate the fact that the Puerto Rican people are citizens of the United States. We're not having that conversation, period. If you want to have that conversation, you need to go somewhere else.
Puerto Ricans fight in our military.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have that big of a freaking fit when he's already been on the Super Bowl halftime show. People don't even realize he came up as a guest when J-Lo and oh my gosh, Shakira were performing. Bad Bunny was the person that came out in like the silver like outfit. That was Bad Bunny.
Yeah, they don't.
People also don't bitch about the fact Coldplay, they're not from the United States either. You didn't have that kind of fit with that.
His language is part of representing this country. We don't have a official language.
Exactly, Rosa. Shakira is not either. She's from Colombia. Yep, Paul McCartney.
Because as I've said before, Executive orders are not law. You too?
Yeah, I have to say, Bad Bunny, I think, gave a lot of people exactly what we needed in this time. It's been so insane and crazy, and there's just been this regime has just been running around wreaking havoc and just spreading so much hate and lies and vitriol, and Bad Bunny just like literally did what he was supposed to do. And I hope he made a shit ton of money off of it. I hope he made so much money, and I hope he keeps making money off of it. I hope he does. Oh, I love it. We needed that. Yes, we needed that concert.
Hey, Mr. Local, no caps, please.
So do they go back to normal? The next president can just literally in one fell swoop cancel all of the executive orders that this administration has passed. Yes. Any president can.
They may not pay him, but that's why I said he makes money, because I'm sure you guys cannot tell me that these people who come and perform for the Super Bowl don't make no money.
Of
They
course
may
they do.
not get paid for their actual performance, but please don't think that they're not making any money. And I'm hoping he's making bank. That dude has been everywhere talking about performing on the Super Bowl. He is making money off of that Super Bowl.
People bought and listened to his albums before this show because of this show.
And Kia, all the merch sold out before the end of the first quarter at the venue, and he definitely makes bank on that because that's licensing his image. He makes money on that.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, and that's what I mean. Like, I love that. You know, and I know sometimes we talk about like the whole capitalism thing and everything. My cousin used to be a professional football player, and it was he was like, I didn't know, by the time I got to know him, um uh, his part of the family, he was just about getting ready. His name is Brandon Marshall. That money he made is life changing for some people, and it allows them to do things in their community beyond just them making money, getting big houses and stuff like that. So bravo for these people who may not have had another way into making millions, multiple millions of dollars. I man, I almost feel giddy today, and I can honestly tell you, I have not felt like that for a very long time, especially since November 2024.
Hey, Ash.
He was definitely wearing something underneath for his protection. I would have. Him not would have been just asking for trouble. Um, but man, I hope like that comment earlier, I think it was Stuart, I hope other people saw that and listened, and even if they didn't understand what they were saying, that they got the message and they felt the love and they felt the beauty and they truly understood. These people are Americans. These people are humans. Even if they weren't Americans, they're still human, and we're all capable of love. And I hope that that makes people's resolve to sticking up for what's going on with the cubes and all this other stuff. I hope that furthers their resolve even more to keep standing up, keep fighting, keep speaking out, and doing the shit that you're doing.
Sure,
Not
Carla.
only that, Kia, the Super Bowl has had foreign entertainers, and Bad Bunny is not foreign; he's an American, but they've had entertainers from other countries many times. What's the big deal? I don't get it. What's the big deal of speaking the language of his native Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States? And even if he spoke German, even if you had a German entertainer come over, the NFL is a worldwide conglomerate that's trying to spread their brand. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue is, was it entertaining? And the answer to that is yes. It was a great performance.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Carla.
I just wanted, hello. I just wanted to say a couple things. First of all, free geography lesson last night. I hope people learn. The Americas, all the countries that compose the Americas, South, Central, North. There was a shout out to the United States, to Canada, which they're not the only English speaking countries. There are a couple of islands who do that, but mostly is Spanish, indigenous languages, and Portuguese, of course. Brazil, back in, if you guys remember history, Spanish and Portuguese divided the world. You get these countries, we get these countries. Anyways, the show was just amazing. I don't like his music personally, but was I dancing last night? Yes, I was. Did I scream when Ricky Martin came on the screen? Yes, I did, because I know him since he was in Menudo. So I'm telling my age. And then he did novellas in Mexico, and well, he's been well known in the Latino community. And he represented what most of our families as Latino families see. Parties, weddings, families, kids sleeping anywhere, especially at parties. That kid that was sleeping on the chairs, I laughed my butt off because we've done that. And the rhythm and the dancing and the happiness. I was just floored by the whole thing. It was a very positive message. And not for nothing, but it was kind of like a thing saying, oh, Lady Gaga was singing in English. Yes, with salsa music, which was great. So at that point, I have to say, all in all, it was a well-rounded show. I loved it. It was just amazing. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to have to drop because I'm at work. So I'm going to keep listening to you guys, and I'm going to keep dropping my comments on the, on the chat. But I wanted to be nice and not too sarcastic. That's why I started with the geographical lesson. So have a good day, people.
Bye, Carla.
Smart, beautiful people. Bye.
Bye, Carla. Have a good day. And the other thing, can you guys take a moment? If you don't understand what a lot of those things represented, please take some time here in the next few days and do some research, whether it's on TikTok or whatever. What did the light pole signify? What all of those different things they were talking about, the EBT being on the bodega on the store. And for those that don't know, EBT is what SNAP used to be called. What did all of that stuff represent? Please take some time, not just enjoy the show, but please take some time and research what that stuff, what he was speaking about, what was shown, what it represents.
By the way, there is some breaking news. The House Oversight Committee is going to get the complete e-files to read. Among the people who will have complete access will be Representative Massey from Kentucky and Jamie Raskin from Maryland. That is very good news. And also, Ms. Maxwell will be called to testify today, although I would be very surprised if she doesn't plead the Fifth Amendment.
It was
Laura just said in chat she pled the Fifth.
I don't believe she's been called yet, but I do agree with Laura. She will plead the Fifth.
it's on MS. So I guess it's happening right now. Let me check.
Yeah, and the fact that people like Massey and who may be a conservative, but he has been out front on this issue from day one, and Jamie Raskin, who's a brilliant constitutional lawyer himself, are going to have unfettered access That's important.
It might be live, but at least it's not showing up in any of my live feeds on the tube.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, that was the halftime show was so spectacular. It was so spectacular. And the commentary from some people is interesting to say the least. I've been over on Facebook this morning and oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That's
That'd
all
be
I gotta say
wild.
is oh my god, that's all I gotta say. It's sad.
Mhm.
Like it's just really sad. And no, so many people don't even understand the symbolism. I have people, they're like, there should have been subtitles. It should have been in English. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. We do not have to make everything for English speaking people. That's just, we don't have to. And music is universal.
James, I will always condemn people that belittle other human beings for their beliefs or who they are. That should be American. Now, actually, what is very American is condemning people for having different points of view. That's actually the most American thing that this country has ever done over the last 250 years of its life. We have never been better at anything than condemning people for who they are. Whether you're Italians or Irish or black people or brown people or Chinese people or Asian people or every other group of people out there. Americans are great at it. Or non-Christians. We are so good at condemning people for who they are or what they believe.
Mike, someone in chat said, unrelated, but the host's lips are fire.
Thanks.
You know, I think they're fire too, Mike. Absolutely. You know, I've often thought that your lips are fire.
That is my goal every single time I go live, is to make sure my lips are fire. So.
Emma, good point. Super Bowl held in Santa Clara, California. Say that in English.
What's up, Shug?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Good morning. New podcast name, Fire Lips.
Fire Lips.
Let's not. I do not want to call my brother freaking Fire Lips. Okay, that's gross. Ladies, I need y'all to sit down somewhere and just relax. Let's talk about Bad Bunny and his lips and his little cream outfit. Let's talk about Bad Bunny, okay? Let's not talk about my brother and his lips, please.
Alien, we get your point. Please stop spamming it and putting everything in all caps. That's only for mods. Thank you.
Oh, bye, Joe. I hope that's what you wanted to happen, because you got it. It's just, it's so wild to me that how upset people got. It's just,
I can't help, like, when I tell you, Kia today is totally 100% shocked and almost speechless, because when I tell you, I have not felt this good about something since before what happened in November. Like, I actually feel joy. And I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, because the fact I know that they are so damn mad just makes me almost giddy. Like, it makes me excited. Like, I'm smiling as I say it. It's just fucking, oh, Gosh, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bye. Oh, whatever that name is. Look. If him singing in Spanish is the only reason you didn't like that video, that's a you problem. It's not a him problem. That's not an NFL problem. That's not that is a you problem. That is a 100% you problem. It's just a fact.
And just know if you said that he should have sing it in English or whatever, then you have an R by your name, even if you vote Democrat. Think about it. You're letting your racism show, y'all.
Look, for the series of comments, we discuss serious things on this all the time. We happen to today find this serious. There's nothing wrong with talking about the Super Bowl halftime show because it does have societal implications. And if you don't think we talk about serious subjects, you've obviously never been here. So for all you people constantly bringing that up now, you obviously are new to this channel.
Terry, first off, Kid Rock is none of that stuff that you talked about. And it's complete opposite. You've obviously never heard any of his lyrics before if you think that. Number two, this administration is so far from that. You couldn't reach it if you had a 20,000 foot pole. This has nothing to do with faith, family, or values if you support anyone on the Republican side at this moment. I'm sorry. This is coming from someone who is a Christian, who was at church yesterday. There is no faith, family, or values in anyone that supports MAGA, this administration, or what is considered current quote unquote Republican values. None. There is none.
Amen.
I'm sorry, real quick. So let me make sure I'm clear. So you said faith. Okay, there was a wedding. Interesting. You said family. Again, there was a wedding. That's seems pretty faith and family based to me. So I don't even really know how you made that comment.
There was a
Um,
family watching TV.
yeah, like everything about it was, and it was all history, heritage, people uniting, people coming together. How did you miss all of that and those values during the show that you didn't watch?
Because they don't have the ability to separate reality from what they have been told it means to be a Christian. That's why.
I don't know what.
It ain't even, Mike. It's not even. They ain't even separated. They made that comment without even watching it, just to come up here and say something ignorant and stupid.
Dixon says, I'm just doing what they want, once again, on this non-serious stuff. Dixon, have you ever heard me on this channel before? I mean, even one day? Oh, you want something serious? Hey, I'll give you something serious. Dixon, did you see the election in Louisiana 60th District? Trump won it by 15. And on Saturday night, the Democrat won by 24. That's a flip of 37 points.
In Louisiana.
That's impossible. And it happened. In deep red Louisiana, a deep red district went for the Democrat by 24 points. A flip of 37 points in 1 year. 1 year.
Yep.
How's that? That's something for you to take away from this live today. Dixon, there's some serious news for you.
They can hear you. They just can't reply today. They can come back and try again tomorrow.
By the way, I do want to say this because there's a lot of new people coming in and a lot of people that are probably great people that we'd love to have up and be a part of the panel at some point. Just so you know, the way it works here is you need to become part of the community. You need to be involved before before we bring people up. It's nothing against you. It's we have had some bad experiences in the past that have made it so we do not do it. It's been a consistent rule. We would love to have more people come up, but you need to just be a part of the community. You can still talk. We'll still answer. I appreciate you wanting to come up and be a part in that way, but it's just, we can't do it right now.
I just wanted to say one thing to a comment about it being it's their problem, a Republican problem. The problem when it comes to racism, it's not just the Republicans. There are people who vote Democratic that are racist as well. And that's why when I call out racism, I don't call out a party. Yes, is the current people involved, are they racist and are they doing a whole lot of racist things? Absolutely. I just want to make sure we don't absolve the left or anybody else that is non-MAGA of being racist, because it comes across all the spectrums.
Here's the reality. If you are someone who looks like me, you were born into a system that is built on racism. That means whether you realize it or not, you are growing up in it. And there will be times that even if you try your darndest, something will happen. You will say something, you will think something, you will do something that maybe you didn't realize is racist, but it is. So what makes you someone who's trying to fix it is not whether or not it's going to happen, because it will happen. It's how you respond after it does happen. The system is built on it. The system is built on it. There is no escaping it.
Well, like put it as this: it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong.
That part. You got to learn, you got to grow, you got to keep growing. And it's one thing as a child and to not know better and to even be raised a certain point. But I'm sorry, I'm almost 46 years old and I do not, as a grown ass person, I do not accept the excuse, well, that's how I was raised. No. Because once you become old enough to make your own choices, you choose to continue participating in those systems, and especially if you're doing it in ways when you're being purposeful about it. But being ignorant does not absolve you either.
Valum, to answer your question, what's happening with the e-files? At least two members of the House Oversight Committee, Representative Massey and Representative Raskin from Maryland, who is a great constitutional lawyer, have been granted unfettered access to it. So that is a change. And today, Ms. Maxwell is testifying before the Oversight Committee. If she hasn't already, she's going to plead the Fifth Amendment.
Why does this matter?
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Who's just going to skip past the e-files? No one's skipping past the e-files. Literally nobody. Not one person is skipping past them. Well, not one person here is skipping past them. Yeah, the people on the right, the people that are in it, are going to want to skip past it as fast as humanly possible. So it's on us to not let them skip past it. Like, the government, the people that are in it are obviously going to want to skip past it. So it's on us to not let them skip past it. Let's hold them accountable. Stop voting for people that support people that are in those files. They're just as bad. You want to fix the problem, we've got to do the work, and it's going to require hard conversations, and it's going to require some being uncomfortable. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to. What's my opinion? What's my opinion, Denzel? You're right, I am entitled to my opinion, but I'm interested what you think is an opinion.
You know, it's very, very wild to me. Just wanted to highlight Laura's comment where she was saying that, somehow learning other cultures makes it, un-American, which is, she's obviously speaking to people who think that way. And it is wild that the entire country uh, is built upon and predicated upon other cultures that has now made up the melting pot that is the USA. And anytime something other than what we deem American is up there, then it's always a havoc and it's always a stir. Everything else, we have all different types of food, language, you name it, we have it, and I believe that's what the best part about being here is that we are a country that has so many different ethnicities and nationalities and nations that have come together because that's how we've learned and grown from one another. So it is so wild to me that that's how we came together, so to speak, in terms of the makeup of this nation, and yet anything that's quote unquote not American is deemed so jarring and so it's exhausting. It really
The
is.
reality is there this idea of American, at least in the way that people in the United States see it, is just ignorant. Everything that this country, that the United States considers quote unquote American, was built off of other countries and other societies because we have and always will be a melting pot. We are 100% built on other countries coming in and bringing their ideas and foods and everything to this country. Has
Yep.
it changed it some? Sure. But if you cannot accept that everything in this country is built and based off of other countries, you are being ignorant.
I
They
always
love
find it.
everything about them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Chuck. I was going to say, I always find it
You could.
fascinating that people are saying this stuff, considering they're living on stolen land. like, like it's just wild.
Yeah, you're right. They love every. They love everything about the cultures except the people, which is out of control.
And again, as much as we obviously can notice the blatantness of how we have treated BIPOC communities throughout and minorities throughout uh, our existence on this continent, uh, American society, United States society, uh, has been pretty crappy to Irish, to Italians. Like this isn't new. That's why I say us being pretty shitty and othering other groups of people is practically a pastime of this country. It's probably the most consistent thing we have from beginning to end since we became a nation.
In answer to your question, the next big primaries coming up will be less than a month in Texas on both the Republican and Democratic side.
No worries, Gerbera. How can you say that with a straight face? It's called history, Branded. You literally only have to look at the entire history of this country. And it has practically been built on the othering of groups of people that are not, that come here for whatever reason. Or live here. Friggin' other indigenous people. And they were here first. See you, Volum.
Bye, Valen. Okay, Laura. Laura, if you type the questions on the other side, it didn't come all the way through. I told Laura, because she said she has questions, Scott, so I told her she put them on the other side that I'll read them to you. And she started, it says Scott the Phil, and that was it. So I don't know what the rest of it is.
Why is Jay asking if this is Bash America Day? No, it's not. What?
Again, I'm American. What do you mean bash America? We are the United States. We aren't America. America is Canada, the United States, Mexico, Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, Chile. That's all you've been doing. No, I haven't. Haven't once. I've bashed the United States government, specifically a group of people that have a really bad view of this world, this country, and people in this country. But no, I haven't been bashing America, because bashing America would mean bashing North America, Central America, and South America. And I'm not bashing them at all.
Jay, you can try again tomorrow. Stop requesting. I'll make you laugh. I've already asked you once. Stop requesting. Please stop requesting so I don't have to block you. No means no. We follow consent here. All consent.
You had to refollow me? Yeah, I've heard about that happening in a lot of places. By the way, hi, Vonda.
Hillbilly Vanilli? That was good to me. Oh, shit. Yep, and there's also Central America. I don't think people realize, like, there's literally almost a whole half of the fucking planet that's a part of the Americas. And the thing is like what Carla said earlier, they get so mad that we're so happy and we're enjoying in this moment. They're so pissed off. They're just like stewing on the fact that he did such a great job and he put on such a great show, and it just went right over their head. Again, like I said, like the Jets at the beginning, they just totally missed it because they just want to sit and stew and be mad and be angry and just sit there and be miserable. And you know, misery loves company. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And quite right, Angel. It was great that Ricky Martin was there. It was great that Lady Gaga was there. It was a great show. It was fantastic entertainment.
Yep.
And there's not a damn thing wrong with that. It was just great, solid entertainment.
We talked about this problem of this idea that MAGA gets we need to look at some things that have happened throughout. Let's just take a look at the last year and a half. Trump won. What happened? MAGA got angrier. They didn't celebrate. They got angry at everyone on the other side who wasn't excited about it. We didn't get people going. We didn't get people like like they did not spend their time celebrating this. They spent their time going around and bashing other people. They hate when we are happy, which is one of the reasons that we say joy is another form of protest.
Laura, to answer your question, Green Day was great. The only downside to it is that I believe it was at the end of their set, the NFL muted them a little bit. But outside of that, it was great.
You can watch it unmuted. Some people who watched it on the tube saw it without it being muted.
That's a broad generalization. No, it's called experience. I have yet to experience anyone who would consider themselves MAGA be anything but upset all the time and get angry at me for anything that I say. That's just experience.
Not Clanchella. The words. Clanchella.
Yeah, I peeped that too, kid. Hilarious.
And Bonnie, no, Canada didn't show all of Green Day, or at least the CTV, which is what I was watching the whole entire Super Bowl on. Muted Green Day's one word, which I'm assuming I know exactly what the word was. But yeah, they muted it, unfortunately.
But that's also because they do a 30-second delay on everything.
Yeah, and I think CTV is majority shareholder owned by some American company. So, yeah.
And Zoe, why does TikTok keep popping up and doing that? Because, well, we know why. We know why.
And also, people are maybe trying to report. They're probably getting mad. They're getting muted. So if you guys can, please keep tapping while you're commenting. The comment engagement has been great, but when this app sees the engagement happening, they're a lot less touchy about stuff.
They shouldn't mute political art. Here's the reality. The NFL is a private company. Just like I have the capability of not allowing any chat in my live, they have the right to decide what can and can't be said. And as much as I would love the NFL to be completely on the side of progressives in America and not this administration, their job is to make money any way they can. And they are elites. They are an elite corporation whose job is to make tons and tons and tons and tons of money. And they will do and say whatever they need to make that happen. It's just a reality.
I think it's kind of like a because how they took end racism off, and then it was after what happened with Kaepernick, that really changed how I felt about the NFL for sure. 100% changed how I felt about it. Of course, I knew it was a business. I get that, and I understand that. But I think in this way, in having not only Bad Bunny, but also Green Day, who have always been known to speak out against stuff, the fact that they had them both in one show, I think speaks a lot. I think sometimes people have to get over they want to hear the words directly. Sometimes things need to be a little more subtle, and they could be just as loud, if not louder. Look at all of those words that were represented by the art in that show last night. You didn't even need to understand what was being said to see that there was a story being told. And I think sometimes I think I think sometimes that's what we got to look for, and not expect. They know there's a delay, especially I've been seeing on the other side after Janet Jackson's mishap. They started that delay, and they're not always going to do what we want because the money part is there, but we know what they stand for.
Okay, real quick. I'm just gonna get conspiracy theorists here for a moment. Do we really think was Janet Jackson's malfunction, so to speak, a mishap, or was it like a striptease thing? Y'all think it really was a malfunction?
No, it wasn't a malfunction. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake knew exactly what was going on.
Okay.
I don't think the
Justin-
NFL knew. I don't think the NFL knew what was going on, but I'm sure they did.
Oh,
Okay.
and Justin Timberlake totally threw Janet Jackson under the bus for it. 100%. He threw her under the bus for it. He knew. They all both knew.
At least that's my opinion. I can't
Wow.
say anything for sure.
That's wild. Okay.
So we thought that was their plan for the YT dude to get up there and rip the clothes off a black woman on the stage
Yep.
for the Super Bowl.
100%. I totally believe that. 100%.
But why?
Well, if you listen to the song and you listen to where they were doing it in part of the song, it does make sense. I don't think they were expecting the reaction they got. And I believe that he totally threw under the bus. That is all my beliefs. I have no factual evidence to back it up, so it's totally a belief. But yeah.
I think the idea of all press is good press. All attention is good attention.
I don't know. Something about that, because I mean, that's like, so the black woman had to expose her naked breasts in order to make money. It's Janet Jackson.
Had to? I
I
don't think she
I don't
had
know.
to.
I believe she chose to. I think it was something they had designed as part of the show. I don't think they were expecting the reaction that they got, is what I believe, personally.
I don't know. In the end, I don't know. In the end, I wish it didn't happen in the first place, but
Totally. 100%. I agree.
Good morning, everybody.
morning.
Going back to the Bad Bunny show, I just thought the whole thing. Again, I didn't know a single word of what was being said. I was listening to, I mean, his voice and how he does everything is amazing. I mean, I've listened to some of his stuff before. The visuals, the story, you didn't have to understand what he was saying to get the story of what he was doing. And you know, and the yes, the guest stars were I mean, I've been a Ricky Martin fan, just like Rosa talked about, since Menudo. So he must have been like 12, 13 when he was in Menudo, when he started. I had posters all over my room. And I personally am going to find somewhere to rewatch it, because the visuals were so amazing that I know I missed a lot of symbolism because it was going so fast. I caught a lot of it, I think, but I know there was so much more of the symbolism that was in there. That I really need to rewatch it probably about 3 times just to be able to get it. The other thing that I don't know symbolism wise that some people didn't catch was, remember when he was kind of in that field and he had that huge Puerto Rican flag that he was you know, waving around. That was their original flag before they became a U.S. territory. And after they became a U.S. territory, they changed the colors of the flag to be like the deep blue and such. And so I caught that right away about how the culture is so much deeper than being a U.S. territory is. And I don't know how many people really caught that, but yeah, Vonda, it was a flag that for decades they weren't allowed to fly. And I thought that was an amazing. The other thing that I really caught that I thought was cool is when they were sitting around watching the TV. On the TV was him winning Grammys. It was one of his Grammy speeches on the TV, and I thought that was amazing too. Just so much in there that, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it like 3 times just to be able to really absorb a lot of what was going on, because there was so much going on in his in the visuals of everything. Now I'm also hoping I can find one that has English subtitles on it, because I really want to hear exactly what he was singing about during the different times in which he was in the different places singing. Just to get a fuller picture. But yeah, I mean, in recent history, I loved Kendrick's and I loved Dre and Snoop's shows, but I would say this one's way surpassed both of those. No, I am not. I am not Puerto Rican. I am Sicilian. But I was laughing at when the kids were sleeping while the party was going on, because that is very prevalent in my family to have that happen. You know, so I just found that part hilarious. But yeah, that was my take on the whole thing, but it was just amazing.
Just to clarify, the little boy was not Liam. He was an actor. He was paid. From my understanding, Bad Bunny has said he can represent who you want him to. I mean, the symbolism I think could definitely go towards, him sitting there watching the TV. It could be him as a little kid in Puerto Rico, not knowing where his life was going to go. And now here he is on the Super Bowl, just won some Grammys, and is doing big fucking things with his life. It could also definitely be representative of what's happening to our immigrant brother and sisters, our brown brothers and sisters in this country for sure. But it wasn't him. They came out. It wasn't Liam, and they wouldn't. Yeah, Liam and his family are actively from the news. This news stories I've been reading, like their family they're like actively trying to. I gotta say my words carefully. They're actively being targeted, and it would not have been safe for them to have traveled to the Super Bowl. Period.
Also thrilled it was a real wedding. Yep. That was pretty amazing.
And Claire, I would say, I'm sorry, just to speak to what you said, the thing with Dre and Snoop and stuff was great. The thing with Kendrick was great. They were like amazing concerts, almost like. This almost seemed like a play. This seemed like it was on a different type of whole different kind of playing field. It was almost done, even though I understand, just like when Beyonce, like there was a lot of stuff that was, going on, from the way they dressed, hand movements, all kinds of different things. This was just, I think, different in the way that it was done. It was almost like a love story to the Americas without with a lot of people that live in the United States not even being able to understand it, or people in other places in the world not even understanding it. We still got the message of what was being said without being able to understand it, and I think that's one of the reasons that made it different.
I've gotten a couple messages recently about this. I want to say this again, just so everyone knows. I don't know if they're still here. In this live, you will not come into the box unless you are a part of this community and we feel like we know you. It's not against any person in particular. I'm sure there have been plenty of amazing people that have wanted to bring things to the conversation. We have had too many experiences that have required me to protect this live in this way. It's nothing against you. It's nothing against. It's not anyone saying that you do not have anything to bring to this conversation, because I'm sure many of you have. But we do not bring anyone into the box that we don't know. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people out there that will allow anyone to come up. And that's fine. If that is how they choose to run their lives, that is their right. That is not how I run mine.
Are you serious? No means no. Consent, people. Consent. Consent does not just happen when it comes to adult things, when it comes to a bedroom. Consent. No means no. Boundaries are boundaries. No means no.
And like I told all of my kids, both boys and girls, is no is a complete sentence. Period.
We understood. I mean, again, not everybody has. Like I said, I've gotten multiple messages, especially lately, because we're talking about very emotional things, very important things, and I think people want to. I appreciate that people want to be a part of the conversation. I absolutely do. And maybe someday we'll have a situation on some platform where I can feel more safe doing things like that. Not on this one. Not on this one.
You're more than welcome to join us over on the tube. You have more space. You can say what you need to say, and we can still engage with what you, without all of the, the holdbacks that are over here on this app.
Kia, did Laura ever ask the questions? She said that she had some questions for me.
No, I think she kind of got lost in a conversation with somebody in the community, and they were talking about, how different things about being Native American and things, and I think it may have gotten lost. I didn't never see anything.
I didn't see anything.
Laura, if you have anything, just ask.
Hey, Emma.
And Kia kind of took my commercial that I was going to do because I don't stay up very long. Yeah, come join us over on the tube. We have much better conversations over there, more in-depth conversations over there. We can talk like adults over there. We don't know what's going to happen on this platform, so come over there. We start a half an hour earlier. And he works really hard to put all sorts of podcasts out, both long form and short form content. And so I would just recommend coming over there and seeing what we're doing. And like Kia and Scott were saying, you know, some of us get into some really in-depth conversations that start over here and maybe take a little bit of a turn, but are still extremely important on what we do over there. So come over, and you guys can stop me, because you know I don't sit up here long.
I did see the Italians protesting against ICE.
Still think one of my favorite signs they have are the ones with the Olympic rings, and the Olympic rings are made out of handcuffs. It's such a powerful sign. And then I saw an interview with this young lady. She's like, I think she said she has dual citizenship, and she was like, I didn't move to Italy to be over here having to deal with the cubes.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, for those of you that are interested, the video I just posted today, I interviewed a young woman who was detained by ICE while in the midst of her green card interview. And the thing you need to remember is she had a good, quote unquote, she had a good experience in comparison to what a lot of people are experiencing. So take her experience and you know, think about that she had a good one. She was lucky.
I saw the one lady. I'm not sure, and Scott or Mike, maybe you guys can clarify. I saw her. It looked like she was before maybe Congress or something. She was the lady that they had snatched out of her car and were holding her. She was telling them that she had a brain injury, and they like handcuffed her and were holding her by her arms and her legs. And she was saying now she has irreparable damage on her arms and stuff like that.
Yep.
That was insane.
Yeah, I didn't see that specific comment, Kia, but I do know that the lawsuits are flooding in at a record pace. It's going to take years. The Minneapolis division of the Department of Justice, they not only had a bunch of people quit in disgust to their orders from Washington not to open up a civil rights investigation into the good unaliving, and of course Alex as well, but they're overwhelmed with work. They don't have enough attorneys to handle it. You're going to see the government literally buried in lawsuits with this.
There's
just buried.
And
there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them already.
And the reporting that showed that what's his face from the FBI basically ended an investigation to make sure that nothing came from it that deviated from the president's desired perspective. What I forget what the wording they used was, but
that's pretty much what the wording was. So yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen an investigation opened where the president determined the outcome of the investigation before they started the investigation, and therefore they had to stop the investigation. Now, if all that sounds like crazy town, it is. That's crazy. I've never heard anything like that before.
Yep.
Sometimes that's all you can say is yep.
There's so much of all of this. This is just crazy, and something that Silver said, I absolutely agree. So the lawsuits are going to be astronomical. Trump is going to cost this country more money than any president in history. Oh, for sure. Because there's already over 600 court cases right now, y'all. In just over a year. Over 600.
He's going to make the IRS pay him $10 billion.
How can that even happen? How are there not
It
guardrails
shouldn't be
against
able
shit like
to.
that?
Kia, how can any of this happen? How can any of this happen? I mean, it's like the rule book has been ripped up and thrown out. But, you know, the American people are paying attention, as evidenced by election after election after election that we see, where they are just getting absolutely hammered by numbers that boggle the imagination.
And the crazy thing is the cases that are coming forth are not going to, like, they're going to lose. There's video of a young man getting a pepper ball right into his eyeball at point blank range. He was just walking. Point blank, took out his eye. He no longer has an eye. And instead of trying to get them help, they grabbed him after and dragged him in like he was a bad person when it happened. Like he was doing something bad that he needed to be detained for.
And what part of this wasn't completely foreseeable? You're massive hiring a bunch of Proud Boys and Proud Boy wannabes. You're not training them. You're arming them like they're in the military as opposed to a police force. And you're sicking them loose on the American people. What part of this was not totally foreseeable?
Yep. I mean, we'd only been saying this for how long? I mean, I've been saying this about the current president since he came down that escalator in some way, shape, or form.
You elect incompetent people who hires incompetent people who then hire incompetent people. Incompetence is what you're going to get. It's not all that surprising. That's why most presidents, meaning all other presidents, have been very careful about who they hire.
Yep.
I just hate to see, I mean, because it's not only the fact that we're going to go through it, it's just how much progress has been lost in the fact of what we're going to have to do to fucking repair or even begin to repair what's been happening.
So here's the thing, and I hear you, and I totally agree with that feeling. But one of the other things that has come to my brain while doing this is, I think, as bad as this is going to be, we now have a potential to actually fix some of the problems that, even though many of us have saw the light before, take the emotion out of it. The present administration are the worst administration to ever
You know, Scotty,
office.
Scotty has a point. Scotty has a point. I mean, nothing spells superstar like Pete Hegseth, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and of course, Kristi Noem, who, when she gets done with this, is going to write a manual on how to the care and feeding of pets. Yeah, they're there, and let's not forget about Kash Patel.
Yeah,
a stellar FBI head. Are you delusional, Scotty?
yes.
Seriously, are you delusional?
Yes. I want to finish what I was saying. I think we have a better chance to build something even from the ground up in a way that needs to be built to actually work our way out of the problems that we have now because of this happening than we would have if there were still as long as there were still so many people that were living in their comfort. And again, I'm not wishing what's happening on anyone. If I thought that it were possible, I mean, obviously we did our best to try and make sure we never got to the point that we're at. But I think we have a better chance than ever to actually fix some of the problems that that are showing up.
To be clear, I didn't because I almost feel like you were talking about, because what I was talking about was just exactly what I said. The fact that we even have to go back, just like with all these people who keep getting all these hits on their 401k, they shouldn't have to lose the money. The whole, well, you're going to get it back argument, I think, falls flat. Oh, you shouldn't have had to have lost it in the first place. If anything, it should not that much at one time, especially when you know why you're losing it and what's happening as a result. And to be clear, because like from your response and then somebody else's response on the other side, I'm not saying that it's not going to be for the benefit.
I never
It
said
is just the fact that it's such a waste.
Absolutely.
And there's so much extra, because yes, there's those things that we had to fix would have need to have been fixed with or without this orange person destroying is what he's doing.
Yeah.
For sure. There's so many things I think that still need to be fixed. And I think we will, hopefully, but I think at the same point in time, forgive me if after having voted him in for the second time over the very highly qualified Black woman, forgive me if I don't have that much faith in this country anymore and its electors. They're going to have to show. They're going to have to, it's really going to, now it's time with what's happening. Now is actually time for the people that we elect to actually do their fucking jobs and for the people to actually get out there and get involved and actually vote. Unless and until I see that happening, I still don't believe that, because I mean, shit, we shouldn't still be fighting racism and all this shit 400 years later. We're still dealing with that. All of these things that we're still dealing with, I do hope we end up being better. But like I said, the fact that we elected him again the second time, it just really damaged my support and belief in this thing. But I do think you're right, Mike. We have absolutely the chance. And if we don't, and that's why I think for me, it's almost kind of like a test. Because if we get the people that we want in there and shit still don't change, then we realize that we really have a bigger problem than we think we do, and we really need to start it all over from the beginning, because we can't keep trying to play the same games the way they were playing them 20, 30 years ago. We don't even have to go back 80 years, just a couple of decades in our lifetime, Mike. We're in our 40s. Even in our lifetime, we cannot keep playing politics the same way and expect to go forward. We got to make some big changes. And I agree with you. I hope that we end up with some of the best shit ever. But for me, I got to see that stuff. And I get it. It's not going to happen in a couple months. But if we don't see people actively out there doing the things that we're talking about, I don't think things will change.
Yep. And my statement was an add-on to yours. It was not a counter to yours, just so you know. I was never saying that you it was just I was making a statement on that reality. It was like yes, we shouldn't have gotten there, but I also hope that since we have gotten there, that this is going to happen. I see a potential for this happening because of it. But yeah, it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. I was not saying that you were. Yeah. Anyways.
So basically, Mike was saying he was right.
I don't know if we need to go that far.
You can go ahead and say it. I've already heard it once today. Bex told me I was right today about an electric blanket. So you can go ahead and make it 2 in 1 day. I mean,
we need to be careful. She's already got a big enough head. We do not need to make it any bigger than it already is.
Kia, you were right.
You know,
He is
Shawnee
correct.
brought up in chat about the email to the children and the parents of the children in Springfield, Ohio, which of course is famous for their eating the cats and eating the dogs. Springfield, Ohio is a tragedy of our time. An entire community that got along just fine, that was living their lives, enjoying their diversity, and the whole town has been ruined. That is a tragedy. And the fact that that's been swept under the rug of just how miserable their lives are now in Springfield, everybody in Springfield's lives are now miserable. It was ruined for no reason at all except pure cruelty and vindictiveness. And that, more than any other town in America, that is a symbol of what we entered.
I also want to say, and I believe this with all of my heart, if we ever as a country truly want to head in the right direction towards fixing a lot of the problems that we have, we need to start over. And I say start over with quotes in the sense of we need to build the basis of our constitution, et cetera, without racism being built into it. And I think as long as it is, there still will be a chance, there still will be an open door for people that think like MAGA to keep pushing back and keep making these absolutely wretched statements and ideals in American society. I just think I think everything that we are doing, every amendment that we've done is putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. And as long as all we're doing is putting Band-Aids on the problem, we won't actually fix the problem, which is one of the reasons I think that it still exists to the level that it does. We need to rewrite all of these things with equity and equality in mind. And if we don't, because the reality is as much as they may have used words that we have interpreted differently as time has gone on, they were pretty dang racist back then. So, of course they wrote it. Ender, I don't even know what the hell you're saying. Just say you're racist and go move on. It's fine.
That's a person that's got one of those small R's next to their name.
I was gonna say has tiny D syndrome, but you know.
That too.
Yes, I mean there's a lot of things that we as a country need to work through in regard, especially people that look like me, need to work through when it comes to our racism before we can truly fix things as well. But that's more we need to work through in order to get to the point where we can do it, right? In the end, how do we fix the problem? When we fix the problem of our society being built on racism by rebuilding society, right? In this case, rebuilding the laws that govern society. Well, in order to rebuild the laws that govern society in a way that helps start the process of healing this country and getting rid of the racism that this country was built on, we need to have people in office that are willing to do that. And in order to get people in office that are willing to do that, we need to have enough people in society that are willing to vote those people into office that are willing to do that. It's a whole process, and it's not an easy one. It's not going to be an easy one. These are going to be difficult conversations that we're going to have. These are going to be uncomfortable realities that we're going to have to accept. And it's going to take work by every single one of us. I say this again. It's the reason that I am doing what I'm doing. It's the reason why I'm willing to do 17 interviews in a 5-day period and edit and post. It's because the way we fix the problem is by getting people in office that want to fix the freaking problem. And the people that want to fix the problem are not going to be supported by the people in power right now, because the people in power right now are the ones that want to keep the status quo, that want to keep the things that have worked for them. So we've got to work against that, which means we need to show that money does not decide who you vote for. We need to get there. We need to get name recognition and visibility out a different way other than money. Those are just, it's how we do it. It's necessary. And we're showing it bits and pieces all over the place. But we need to do it. We need to do the work. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to affect every single one of us in some way, shape, or form.
All of that.
Look at Shug trying to make us
I know,
all feel.
show off with a
It's so sunny and warm out here. Look, I
And we
can
got
walk around
palm
outside
trees.
where it's warm
and we got palm trees. I don't got a jacket
with
on.
my
Hey,
little cutie kid.
hi, handsome.
Well, it's cold as balls up here in New Jersey, and I'm sure as hell not going to go walk around.
Yeah, whatever. I'm hating right now. You just stole my joy from my Super Bowl performance.
It's only -5 Celsius here. It's nice and warm. It's shorts weather.
And Mike is so right. And there's going to have to be a lot of uncomfortable moments, especially for those of you guys that look like he does. You're going to have, and I need you to do some reading, pick up some books. Pick up some books about racism, where it started. And one of the things I need people to understand when you start looking into that stuff, when it comes, there's so much to understand when it comes to race. But please understand, like, if you think Scottish is a race, you're already on the wrong path and you've got a lot of learning to do.
Lucy, Democrats are absolutely not panicking.
Yeah, Lucy Lou says that the Democrats are panicking. The Democrats have kicked the living shit out of the Republicans in 60 straight elections since the election of 2024. There is panic in the political world, but it's not on the Democratic side.
Republicans are literally starting to talk about being worried about losing the Senate. It's that bad. Whether they will or not, that's a whole different story. But the fact that they are talking about it when this election is one of the most difficult in terms of Democrats getting the majority in the Senate. No, it's not Democrats that are nervous. We see the danger, which is why we keep talking about it. But
Just real quick, because then I'm gonna be more like listening while I start getting ready. Somebody had asked for a book, so wanna be a good one. They actually sell it here on TikTok. It's Black AF History, by Michael Harriet. Then if I don't know if anybody on here follows Covey / Athena, one of the most intelligent people I've ever speak, and she knows so many things about so much stuff. A couple of books I wrote down that she recommended was oh, where'd the page go? Black Skin, YT Masks, and Wretched in the Earth were two books that she had recommended that people read, and then start, like, take a chance, like, when you have some time and you can listen, go into some BIPOC creator spaces, and please, I'm not sending you there to put yourself into the conversation. That's not what I want you to do. I just want you to listen. Covey will teach you a whole bunch of different things. There's so many different amazing Black creators on here that are much more well educated on things and know a lot more than I do. You've got Erica, Shantae. You've got, my gosh, I see his face, Santana. You've got SoCal Smitty. There's a lot. Like, do yourself a favor and go listen, sitting in some spaces and listen.
And when she says listen, she means listen. Don't go in and speak. Go in and listen. It's so easy to speak. Don't do it.
I will say, as being biracial, I walk on both sides. I will tell you, you may hear them say there's a way that especially Black folks, we tend to speak to each other, and sometimes YT folks may be a little uncomfortable, but I need you to get over that too. And I need you to just listen and learn and understand that different communities engage in different ways, and that's part you being okay and comfortable with people having different ways of speech and different ways of doing things than you do, and you being okay with that. That shows that you're growing. You have to be okay. You can't just say you're okay with all of the people, but you're not okay with the things that make them different than you.
Yep.
And don't be upset. I will tell you, there are some, and I don't fault them at all. There are some creators, they will not, especially if you're YT, they don't engage in educating you. They feel it is up for you to educate yourself. But when you hear, keep you a notebook ready, because most oftentimes there's going to be some book drops or things to research. Like, one of the things I was listening to a conversation about was Darwin and the whole Darwinism and how racist it was. And I truly had no idea. So I was like, I'm gonna have to do some research. So definitely keep your ears open. You have 2 ears for a reason, and a big ass brain in the middle to process what your ears are hearing. Write things down that you don't know, so that way you can take time yourself to go and look it up. It is lazy of you to expect for Black folks and BIPOC communities and people in any kind of marginalized community to educate you. You should, if you care enough, educate yourself. Listen to what we're talking about, write it down, things that you don't know, things you don't understand, things that made you feel a certain type of way, and then get to researching.
Kia, I have an average ass brain. Thank you very much.
But at least your lips are fire.
Good one, Shug.
That's true. That's true.
That was perfect.
Oh, man. Whew. Here's the thing. And this is why I love this community. This is why I love what I'm doing. This is why I do what I'm doing. These conversations are needed. This whole thing that we are doing is needed. These are what hard conversations look like. Because I can tell you, there are times that what Kia says makes me uncomfortable. But there's a reason it makes me uncomfortable. It's because I grew up in a different world than she did. And it's hard to realize that you are part of the problem. Even if that's not your goal. Even if my goal is to never be part of the problem. But in the end, I sit in that uncomfortability. I sit in it. I try and learn from it. I accept it. Turning Point USA, Jose.
Having this conversation. Hey again.
Hi.
I had to come back up. Talking about deconstructing as a white tea, as a white tea woman, if I can just shout out another creator that does a book club on the weekend. Her name is Brooklyn Kitty. Sometimes she's Brooklyn Girl, depending on how her page is. Anyways, and on the weekends, she does a lot of Black history or different books that allow you to really deconstruct. But she does book club, and for white tea people, Kia beat me to it. A people's history of the United States is a long read, but it's excellent. The other thing is to get YT Fragility and Nice Racism. Is a really good, two really good books that are starting points for people that are deconstructing a lot, that really want to dig deep into a lot of the deconstruction that I personally am doing. And you're right. We're, as a society, as a country, I believe that we're not going to be able to really move forward. And I agree with how we have to elect people and the type of people we have to elect. But however, I should say, however, comma, we have to also have a majority of YT people that understand the fundamentals of systemic racism in this country. And in order to make progress going forward. And, you know, that's, as a white tea woman, that's what I'm searching for personally and talking to my family members about. And because right now that's where I can be pushing out this extremely important narrative that needs to happen.
Yep. Which is,
in my opinion,
which is why I said, I mean, getting people in office that can see it and want to do it is needed. But in order to get the people in office that it's important and needed, you have to have the people that are willing to vote them in the first place, which means those people need to go through that process too. So it's a whole circle. That's why I always say this is a circle. Oh, the kitties kicked you off. Ah. The cats. But yeah, this is a whole circle, guys. It's the same with a lot of our problems. It's never one thing. It's not just one thing that needs to happen. It's a bunch of things. And having these conversations and learning and growing and feeling uncomfortable. Guys, thanks for hitting 100K. Holy shit. You guys are awesome. Yeah. This is a whole thing that we need to work on together. That is not going to be easy, and there are going to be some really uncomfortable times that we're going to have to go through. Especially people that look like me. We're the ones that are going to have to be okay being uncomfortable. Members of the BIPOC community have been already living this. We're the ones that have to experience it. We're the ones that have to work through it. We're the ones that have to learn to listen before we speak. We're not good at that. We're not good at that in this country. In general, the way we look at it is whoever can speak the loudest. Whoever speaks first and speaks the loudest. But what we need to do is learn to shut up and listen. I mean, there's a reason, like, people come and get on me about sometimes I just sit here and don't talk. It's because I got 3, 4, 5, 6 amazing people that have amazing experiences, that have knowledge that I don't have. But sometimes I just need to sit there and listen to them. Because that's how a conversation works. The whole purpose of this community, of this live, is about having a conversation. And sometimes the best way to have a conversation is to not say a damn thing. That's how you learn.
As someone wise once told me, there's a reason we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak.
Oh yeah, coach. It's all about comfortability, right? That's what it's about. People that have voted, but you must ask questions to learn. Not always. Sometimes you just got to talk. I've learned more about people just talking, not asking questions, just talking.
I've been learning so much by just listening. Just listening and understanding. I can't understand the experiences, but listening and trying to understand and validate their experiences. For me, that's how I've been learning so much.
And
Um,
and what I have found when it comes to asking questions is you need to be when you are someone who looks like me and you're talking to someone in the BIPOC community, if you don't have a level of trust and respect before you ask those questions, they can easily come across in a way that, for people that want to do it, that are genuinely curious because they don't know. I find that it can come off poorly. So what I would again suggest doing is having a relationship with someone, like becoming friends with someone. Shug and Kia know my heart, and they know if I'm asking a question that I'm asking it out of pure, genuine interest, because I don't know. They know that I would never knowingly offend them. But they also both would be willing to tell me straight up if I offended the hell out of them, and they should. because they know I'd listen. Sometimes you just got to listen. It means more than anything. Because right now, as a country, we don't. Men don't listen to women. People that look like me don't listen to people that look like, that are from the BIPOC community. Christians don't listen to anybody else other than their pastors and what they believe. Like, there's just a lot of people not listening at all. And we got to fix that problem if we really want to fix the things that are going on in this country that have caused us to be as divided as we are, that have caused us to be America is 2 continents. 3 areas, 2 continents. South America, North America, Central America. We are the United States. All right. Is one ha. Okay. Anyways, guys, again, I'm just gonna do it quick because I've got to get ready for some interviews. If you're over here, please hit this button, do all the things. It really helps me out. Please watch all the stuff that I post. That's one thing you can do to help, especially if you don't have the ability to help financially. But just so you know, things are getting weird over here. Things are getting weird over here. I go live over on the tube of you. Stealing thoughts. I can talk. It's fine. I go live on the tube of you 30 minutes before I go live here on TikTok. So 9:30 every weekday. This app, TikTok, is being really weird for creators like me. That's just a reality. My stuff is not reaching as many people as they were, straight up. And you can already tell that this app is trying to do things completely differently. Every time I open up this app, there's something new about ways they can make it hard for me to make money. It happens every single time I open this up. I've got this whole new thing now that they're trying to get me to stream 6 times a week if I want to be able to make more money. So I get a choice. I can add another day or make less money. So I go live over on the tube every same time I go live over here. Watching my stuff over there helps. Sharing it helps. America is 2 continents. North and South America. Grow up, Sophie. I mean, we are all America. I guess that's what you meant by it. Sorry if I misunderstood. I guess I'm just getting snappy. We are all part of America. Yes. Gosh, my brain is tired. I'm interviewing as many people that are running for office as humanly possible before the midterms. People that are progressive, people that aren't taking PAC money, people that are want real change, want to be held accountable. One thing because they're not taking PAC money, one thing that's necessary to get the visibility and name recognition is people like you watching stuff that I make. That helps the chances of people that are in those districts to see what they're wanting to do. So if you could go over there and watch the stuff and share the stuff, there's some amazing candidates running for office. We've got a tank commander who is also a former tank commander who is also a foster mom. We've got scientists. We've got former fighter pilots. We've got moms, dads, small business owners, literally everybody, people that work that aren't multimillionaires. So any help over there would be extremely appreciated. Make it possible for me to keep doing what I'm doing. So, all right, guys. Thank you again for the likes, the shares, the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who came up into the box. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate you being part of this community for the amount and for as much as you do. Everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 over on the tube, 10 here. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Do something that makes you happy. Go out and enjoy the sunlight if you got it. Or if not, I don't know. Go make fun of MAGA. Anyways, bye guys. Love you. Bye YouTube. You rock. See you tomorrow.